Imagine a world that all begins with your diary. And as that appointment draws near, your technology begins to look at where you are and where you need to be. It works out the best way to get you there. It might be a tram, it might be a bus, it might be a bike. Whatever it is, it makes sure that you're there when you need to be. As you arrive closer to the building begins to tell your technology where best to park that mode of transport. As you move out of that transport and begin to walk, the sensors inside your shoe begin to tap ever so slightly, left and right, as it guides you towards the front door of the building. As you see the building doors open because it knows who you are. It passes you through security. It brings the elevator ready for you to walk in. It tells the elevator where you're going. As you're doing that, it dynamically is looking at the space and place that you're going to, the meeting room, and it's beginning to wonder who you and the other people are that are going to be occupying that room. It looks at what you want to achieve there. Is it a meeting? Is it a conversation? Is it a demonstration? And what the best way to present that room is. It dynamically shifts the walls to be appropriate to the size. It changes the air conditioning, the heating. It changes the lighting. It brings in all of the elements you need. Autonomous desks and chairs are being wheeled in and wheeled out. Windows are being opened and closed. And as you arrive, it opens the door for you. And there in front of you is a room specific to your purpose and your needs. This is the world of tomorrow. This is the world of smart cities. This is the world that you and I are headed into. The dream of a smart city is not new, but what is new is that finally there are many elements conspiring together. Society, humanity, technology, possibility are all coming together to frame a landscape that's different from the one we had before. One of those major epoch trends is autonomous age. The age where our technology has spent 30 years getting to know us, getting to know what we do and where and how we do it, and now is beginning with our permission to be able to make decisions based on that information. It's able to understand who we are and what we want to achieve. And in this autonomous age, our technology will increasingly do the routine thinking for us. In this age, it will be able to imagine what we want to do and to create that landscape ready for us to do it in. Another of the major changes ahead is a move away from a centralized way of being and thinking, where we believe that one premises, one built environment is only suitable for one purpose. We're now increasingly moving into a decentralized age and a decentralized way of thinking, where we're looking at how we can multi-purpose a space or a place so it can achieve many things depending on what the humans require of it at that particular time. What this is moving us towards is the notion that these smart cities of old, things that are connected, literally our footpaths, our doors, our homes, our cars, the buildings, the weather, all of these things are now digitized and connected together and able to be manipulated and changed to better suit the circumstances and the need. That we can learn in a cascading effect when one thing is triggered, what might likely occur next and what the environment might have to do to allow that to happen seamlessly. This is the world of smart cities that you and I are now creating. And as we now see smart cities move from imagination to reality, by 2025, this is going to be a $2.5 trillion industry globally as governments, corporations move towards creating these spaces for us. And as we look out ahead just a few years, PwC tells us that smart city solutions will require infrastructure, which will account for about 69% of the total build. And that's, of course, our wonderful builders, our incredible engineers, and our artisans, and all of those people that come physically together to build that city for us. But as well as that, increasingly now, we're looking at service providers, people who can inform the build and who also can put things inside of the building that are really more of a digital offering than a physical offering. And they will account for 31% of all of the build activity. So what we have now is a burgeoning horizon of professionals that are involved in smart city building that aren't anymore the traditional builders of old. These people offer professional services, and they also offer integration and deployment, the ability to think, to analyze, to scope, to put together these offerings. Many of those will be involved in the safety and security of the building, not only the physical side of that, but of course the digital side of making sure that the building remains secure. Also, real-time sensor analysis with these smart cities, with all of the individual objects and buildings and people connected digitally, we will require the ability to be able to connect all of those and to make sense and purpose out of them. And we will require the ingenuity and the innovation and invention of incredible humans to take those sensors and to turn them into real-time solutions. Part of the landscape that makes this possible now, as against a few years ago, is the growth of 5G technology. It allows us as individuals to take our devices, our mobile phones, and without permission to share information about us with a much wider network. It makes that network come alive as it can share information with us and its surroundings. It can literally change traffic as it adjusts traffic lights depending on the amount of cars on the road. 5G is also one of those backbone technologies that will change the shape of transportation forever. It will no longer require us either to own the means of transport, the car, or to use mass transport, the train or the tram, but instead to be able to figure out the best way to move forward to get from where we are to where we need to be, and for our technology to orchestrate that journey for us. Mobility as a service is another huge horizon ahead in which new industries will arise. We also are standing on the precipice of machine learning and artificial intelligence, the ability for our technology to bring in much information from many different environments and to make sense and purpose out of that. What this will do is not only take us on the journey of today, where we will begin to build smart buildings, buildings that can adapt and change according to the people that are inside of it. It will also simultaneously evolve to not only have a physical built environment, but also an exact replica digital environment in which we will be able to digitally go inside. We will be able to repair, we will be able to find ways to fine-tune a better use for that building or that environment. All of these things collectively will lead us into a dynamic space. The belief from here on in that an environment needs to suit the human. It needs to evolve dynamically so that regardless of what you and I are doing in that space, the space fits it perfectly. That's our journey in tomorrow. That's the purpose for smart buildings. That's the purpose for connecting these buildings into smart cities. That's the journey that you and I have chosen to go on.